All right, let's talk. Let's talk a little Apple Watch. Karen Chase, an ABC News correspondent. She's the tech guru for ABC. Good morning, Karen Chase.
Good morning to you, and have you seen it?
We've seen it. We've talked about it. I'm still trying to figure out why I want to spend $400 on a watch.
It doesn't matter why, but you do, right?
No, I don't. What is this thing going to do? What's the wow factor for this watch?
That's an excellent question. It depends on what you prefer in a watch. For me, I love the customizability of it, the chameleon-like changes you can make in it. You can change the face. You can make it the animated butterfly that we've all seen. You can make it the jellyfish. You can create a static image. You can put your own image on there. You can change the band. You can make it plastic. You can make it leather. You can make it metal. You can strap it. You can snap it on with a magnetic clasp. You can make it, and you can also make it do so many things, like you can read your email. And as you saw Tim Cook in the keynote speech, he answered his phone on his watch, which he said he'd been waiting to do since watching Dick Tracy when he was a kid.
Okay, so your watch rings, you hit the button, and now you're talking into your watch?
That's what it looks like, and I would like to see a little bit more of that, because I think it's going to create a lot of annoying situations on trains and buses. People like screaming at their wrists instead of their iPhone.
Well, and I mean, they have been making fun of me all morning long. You're going to get carpal tunnel holding your watch like that up to your ear and your lips.
I don't know. Would you rather have carpal tunnel or cervical neck strain from looking down at your digital device? I mean, 6 one, half dozen the other, right?
The thing that I think is impressive is that they unveiled 3 different types of watches, 3 different price points, and that luxury watch, while it is expensive, it's not nearly as expensive as some of the luxury watches out there.
That's a very good point. $10,000 isn't a lot when you consider a Rolex can go a whole lot more.
Now, who's going to buy this watch?
Good question. I think a lot of Apple fans will be standing in line, as they always do, for the next best thing when Apple comes out with anything. Everyone thought, no one thought people would stand in line for a tablet when the iPad was first introduced, and of course sales have been off the charts. I think a lot of people will be curious to see how it works, and the fact that they have so many app makers on board. This watch will be able to do as much as people can imagine that they can make it do.
If I leave my phone at home, does my watch work?
That's an excellent question. I would think that it would have a certain amount of capabilities, like, of course, to tell time, just like your phone can only do so much if it's not connected to Wi-Fi. So I think it does have limited capabilities when it's away from your phone. It does work with an app, but I believe that app can be downloaded onto an Android device, so you don't have to have an Apple phone.
Oh, okay. Now, what about the battery life? You have to plug in the watch at the end of the day?
Yes, that's an excellent point, and it seems to be a sore point to a lot of people. 18 hours is as long as you'll get out of it. And some people say, well, that's fine. I get home at night, and before I go to bed, I plug my iPhone into the wall, and I sleep, and I'm fine. And I get up the next day. But for those people who have those sleep tracking apps, it's going to be tough to get that to work when the the watch is not on your wrist. So that's sort of a deal breaker for people who want it for the sleep tracking.
Karen Chase, ABC News tech guru with us, was following the Apple announcement yesterday of the iWatch. I thought bigger news was the HBO news from yesterday.
Absolutely. I think that the partner with the HBO, and you can get a deal with Apple TV. That's huge. The Apple TV's price, by the way, is dropping from $99 to $69. And at the same time, Apple is exclusively partnering with HBO for a $14.99 a month service. And that starts in April. And if you sign up quick, you'll get your first month for free. So I think that has a lot of possibilities. A lot of HBO fans are happy about that.
What about the because, we're sort of in this world, the iPhone versus the rest of the world. Any backlash from the Android users who don't have Apple products, who are not going to be able to get HBO?
No, that's a good question. We'll probably hear from them, because I'm sure there are a lot of Samsung fans that are HBO fans, and they're going to feel like they're aced out. They're probably going to become better friends with their Apple fan friends.
When will we be able to get this iWatch?
Good question. It's coming out April 24th is when the deliveries begin, but April 10th is when you can start pre-ordering, and you can start stopping by your Apple store to actually feel one and touch one and see what you can do with it.
Is there anybody saying that this is going to be a flop?
I really haven't heard that, although I have heard people complain about the price points, as you mentioned. They start at $349 and go up as far up as $10,000 and above. We'll have to wait and see. The only thing I think might happen is there'll be a lot of people lining up, but there'll also be a lot of people waiting for the second generation Apple Watch.
Karen Chase, I want it on the record that I think it's going to be a disaster.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I'm an Apple fan. I have every Apple product known to man. I'm an Apple guy. I just don't see spending $500 for a device that does the same exact thing as the device in my front pocket.
And
How about-
Karen, I'm on the other side saying I think it's going to be a big hit.
Okay, well, we've got this noted down. We're gonna come back to you after the next quarter, and we will take notes. We will take names. Okay.
There you go. Karen Chase, ABC News Tech Guru. Karen, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
You got it. 7:57 here.
She has a
Big
great
Five.
voice.
She does. 7:57 here. Big 550 KTRS. I mean, it would be like selling a flashlight.
What do you mean?
If Apple were to announce that they were going to start selling flashlights. Well, I have a flashlight on my phone. I don't need a flashlight. It would be like if Apple announced, "Hey, you know what? We're going to start selling. Calculators." Because that's funny. I have a calculator on my on my phone. I don't need a calculator. I just don't see that it's a smaller screen. Why did they go from an iPhone 5, which was a small screen, to an iPhone 6 with a bigger screen? Because people were complaining those screens are too small. So let's go even smaller with the iWatch.
Again, it's a watch. Just remember, first and foremost, it is a watch.
Yes.
And it has these fun little gadgets.
But no one's
And
wearing
we
watches
don't-
anymore because everyone has their phone.
I disagree.
All right.
Watches, I mean, I've never worn a watch, and I'm thinking about getting one of these.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kelly Jackson. We'll see what happens.
Watches are very popular.
Hey, I've been known to be wrong all the time. So we'll see. 7:58 here.